Hello, my name is Natalie and I am the recovering therapist. I wanted to start this page, this channel, by telling you a little bit about what this means and why I'm doing this. And so I guess it's kind of long-winded, so we'll see how we go. But basically, I became a counsellor, a therapist in 2015. I think I graduated. Prior to that, I had done volunteer work and things while I finished my diploma. And so it's been around like 8-9 years that I was a counsellor. And this channel, I really want to talk about all that I learned through that process. So no matter how many people I did therapy for, I feel like I was doing therapy for myself at the same time, and there were just amazing things that I learned along the journey. But there's a few other things that this page is about, and what I'm going to be gifting and offering and creating through this page. Another thing that I'm going to be discussing is like where I am now, because especially over the last few years, about 5 years ago I got into energy work. 7 years ago really, actually. I started getting into energy work, and I would do therapy and energy work at the same time, and things that would take people 2 years to really work through took 6 months instead. And so it really amplified the process, and it amplified the process within me. And I learned so much from that, and that's gradually evolved to where I am today. And I do EFT tapping, and I'll probably do some tapping on here, and I do meditations and visualizations, and all of that will be a part of it. But this last year it has been a process for me to really disidentify myself as the therapist and to just become myself. And that, let me explain that more. I feel like it's been a huge pattern shift, and a process of really like dropping down a lot of my walls and becoming just fully okay with the here and now, fully okay with myself, and also being okay not to be the one with the answers in the room. It was really like a defense mechanism or a way of feeling important. It's definitely part of like a people pleaser pattern that has all dissolved for me. I mean, there's still going to be residual like tentacles of that big core issue that's been resolved, but I really want to talk about this throughout this channel, because I think there's a lot of therapists out there like that. We go to them for support, and they need to be in that role just as much as you need to be seeing them for what they're learning from it. Well, at least that's how it was for me. And really getting to the stage that I hit burnout and hit, like compassion, like became overly compassionate and took on too much. But ultimately, I took this huge step back to really look at me and what I wanted and who I am. And I think I will always be a person who is in like the helping industry. I'll always be nurturing and supporting, but I'll be doing that from a different place. I've been learning about stepping into goddess energy and becoming your true self, and really living life from feminine energy as opposed to fully being directed by the masculine energy, which we have both. We have the yin and the yang. We have a need for both, and I choose to live my life from my heart as opposed to from my head. And definitely, like that's still a journey, it's still a process, but that's what this is about. This is about going, my heart is saying, hey, it's time to share and evolve from being the listener to being the sharer and having other people listen potentially. I'm sure I'll be hearing from people still in my life, like that role will never fully die, but this is about sharing. So what else do I want to tell you about? I'll tell you about what I love and the reason I love it, and I think being a therapist has taken me down lots of different rabbit holes at different times where I've just learned lots of things. I've learned about Gottman marriage therapy. I've learned about acceptance and commitment therapy. I've learned about mindfulness and meditation and the importance of that. That's all really, really important. But there's also been things like numerology that I can't help but like discover how true that is. How I don't know really where that stems from, or I don't know the background to it, but I know if you look up someone's numerology, you can see their biggest life lessons that's writ in that numerological sign playing out in their life, and the way that they can live their life in a more positive way and more in alignment way through that information. So I love it. There's also a law in numerology called the law of cycles. And we're constantly living all different cycles, and this is a big part of this channel, is what happened in this last cycle for me. Because today, right now, in this moment, and what's the date? It's the 1st of November, 2023, and I am in a 1 year, which means I'm at the start of a new cycle, new beginnings. And to be honest, it's been a very restful year for me, where I've really stood back and am contemplating this next cycle more thoughtfully and heart-centered than I normally would. And so perhaps in another cycle I would have been taking action, but I've been more being, and I've been busy, and I'm a mum to 2 little boys, and I've taken a step back and not been doing so much therapy, so I've had to do other things to like support us financially. But ultimately, as I'm thinking about the future, I'm taking slower steps and only doing things when I really know it's the right thing. I just started a crystal healing course, and I'm going into more depth on what the chakras are right now, and I'm really enjoying that. It's just simple and not expensive. It's just something that I'm dabbling in because I enjoy learning. But that's where I'm in the cycle. So last year was a 9 year for me, and it was huge. 9 years are all about releasing, so that you don't take things that are no longer serving you into your next cycle. And holy moly, my 9 year was so intense in that, like, obviously I have now shared the identity as me as a therapist, and it's really interesting saying that, because it was a way of being within me that I couldn't shift on my own until it was the right time. It was like, now when I'm with a person, I don't want to be the one like with all the answers anymore. I just want to be there with them, and it has made my life so much less heavy, and so I can experience more joy and freedom and peace, because I just get to be a lot more, rather than sitting in this place of I'm a therapist. It's kind of a hard thing to describe, because it was an energetic process within me. So like I said, some of that will still exist. I'll have to go back into that role, but I don't want to live in that role. And there's so much more that we're going to discuss. This is, I don't know, probably going to be a 10-minute video, and there's like years of unfolding of this. So yeah, you can't cram that into 10 minutes. But anyway, long story short is, I love to see that exactly everything that's going on in my life has been aligning with these cycles. The year prior to that was the abundance year, and there were so many amazing things, and financially things shifted for us, and different things like that were going on. The year before that was a 7-year, another big releasing quiet year, which really set me up for my 9 year, and what happened in that year, which is too many things, so many. So I will address all of those things at some point, and probably some pretty eye-opening things. As a therapist, again, I've dealt with and talked about really, really intense, heavy things that maybe other people don't talk to on the day-to-day. So I'm very comfortable talking about really heavy things, and it doesn't feel heavy for me. So being able to share that from my heart and what happened for me from my heart is what I'm planning to do as we go forward. And I'm really wanting to provide a light and beautiful, peaceful space, and to share a lot of the intuitive, and I worked with a lot of clients where specific meditations would come through that session for them to help them clear whatever particular issue was needed to clear through that and through that energetic process. I did transformation energy work, which is a little bit different. It's similar to like a kind of like a kinesiology process, and so actually I would take on their energy and then help them release things, and my body doesn't want that anymore. That was difficult for my body to have that energy going through me all the time. So we'll see how things unfold, because there's going to be things unfolding in my life as I do this, because I'm in a 1 year, brand new cycle, and brand new learning, and brand new business probably. So this is the beginning, and it's also a discussion about the end and sharing. So that's what this is, and I can't wait to tell you more. Thanks. Bye.